Evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country.
Erica Kirk is not Jacqueline Kennedy, although I'm pretty sure she thinks she is. Jackie was a legend in memorializing and preserving the legacy of her husband, not parading staged videos of her kissing his corpse around social media. She didn't allow JFK's corpse and her grief to be exploited for the public to leer on, and she certainly didn't do it herself, insisting that the casket remain closed.
I just really wish Charlie Kirk's wife would have set this one out for a couple of weeks, because to get on a podium and speak her little message or whatever and say, I don't know when the last time I slept. Ma'am, your husband died 48 hours ago, okay? You slept 48 hours ago.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, in today's video we are going to see the reaction of Black Americans and white Americans over the viral speech from Charlie Kirk's wife. You remember that yesterday we saw Charlie Kirk's wife. She came out and delivered a speech, and in her speech it went viral. Majority of black people and white people, they have come out and react towards Charlie Kirk's wife speech. So kindly guys, watch this till the end, then I'll be back with more comment. All credits goes to the original creator of the video. I'm your host, Dash Lifestyle. Kindly guys, remember this video, it is only for educational purposes.
Charlie loved life. He loved his life. He loved America. He loved nature, which helped him always bring him closer to God. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. Want me to say go Ducks, so I have to since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks. But most of all, Charlie loved his children, and he loved me. I want to thank my husband's dear friend, Vice President Vance, and his phenomenal wife, Usha, for their love and support. You guys honored my husband so well, bringing him home. I want to thank President Trump and his incredible family for the same. Mr. President, my husband loved you. And he knew that you loved him too. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country. In this world, you have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. They should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country. In this world, you have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it.
Instead of standing on stage proclaiming that his death has ignited a fire and that his business will continue on, She worked behind the scenes to preserve his legacy through interviews, through his presidential library, and most importantly, through his children. See, while Erica is telling their 3-year-old that daddy's on a work trip with Jesus to be able to afford her blueberry budget, side note, weird amount of guilt you're giving a toddler that she's somehow responsible for daddy being with Jesus, Jackie was instructing their 3-year-old how to salute a casket, instructing him, John, you can salute daddy now and say goodbye to him. No blueberries, just reality. But I guess since Charlie Kirk is certainly no JFK, he had to marry an Erica, not a Jackie.
Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, live streamed a message last night, and if that video was anything, it was a further call to war. Now, if you haven't seen it, I suggest you go watch it because the visuals and messaging are absolutely fascinating. And just like my video from last night, it's time to clock in and listen up because we're gonna the shit out of this thing. Each emphasis, each moment of emotional expression looked so perfectly calculated, and everything continued to circle back around to promoting and platforming the turning point, the business. She even directs people to their website. She tells them to start chapters wherever they are. She even goes so far as to say that there is absolutely no excuse to not start a chapter if there is not one near you. She also says that the evildoers will pay for what they've done. Here's the thing though, this speech was broadcast live, which means that it was broadcast after Tyler Robinson turned himself in. Now the language around the shooter has been very singular, very solo. We caught the guy. We already know that it looks like Tyler Robinson is aligning with the far, far right, in particular the GroPo movement. So, who are these evildoers to which she's referring? And if you for 1 second think that she had time to get a full beat, hair done, come up with that speech, but didn't keep up with Tyler Robinson's probable affiliations, then you're either on the wrong page or you need to hold onto your hat because you're about to get a crash course in chaos.
Yeah, Buki, the call is coming from inside the house, and whoever did the body did a good job. Now, Charlie Kirk's wife recently, well, she got the body, child, and she posted these images, I believe, of him getting a medal from the president. I'm not entirely sure the title of the medal, but baby, she'd have posted the body. And also other images of her kissing the body. I mean, we've seen this at funerals. This is nothing new. It's really what most widows and loved ones do to their loved ones, right? I think the internet was a little bit more alarmed that she posted it, because mostly funerals are pretty private. But after she had posted those images of his funeral, child, she then posted this message. You could pause to read it. I'm not going to read it. But she basically blaming everybody but the call coming from inside the house. Now, after she had made this post, she then took and did a speech, child. Let me play the speech.
The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love.
Girl.
But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country.
Erica, please. Okay? We give you some grace because you lost your husband. But the fact that you keep saying they, them, and you guys, who was you guys? They found the assailant. It is this man right here. Girl, I don't know what power trip they done put you on, girl, but get off that ride immediately. And instead of coming for all of the internet for what your husband was saying, you need to download JPay and talk to the person who did it.
At first glance, it would be so easy to assume that she's talking about Democrats and the left. That would be the obvious answer. But if you watched my last video, you already know that I don't think she was talking to Democrats and the left. I think she was talking about other factions in the alt-right. I think the reference to evildoers served two distinct functions, and that it carried both a high and low frequency of messaging. The high, the obvious, it calls out to everyone that still believes that Tyler Robinson was radicalized by the left. And after scrolling through literally thousands of comments last night as I was looking at news media coverage videos, it is very clear that there still are an absolute ton of people that believe that he was radicalized by the left. Because of the word fascist used on one of the shell casings, they absolutely cannot wrap their minds around the fact that the phrases used were actually alt-right memes. They only know the word fascist as used as part of a left lexicon. So this high frequency messaging keeps them riled up, especially after MAGA Republicans have had to pivot away from directly accusing Democrats of having done it. The low frequency messaging, other far right factions, because by the time she made this message, it would have already been known that Tyler Robinson's affiliations would be with the far right, not the left. Steph, even if she was talking to other far right factions, wasn't this just the work of one angry shooter? Who put out the fucking book? That's right, it all comes back round again. Who published that biography one day before it actually happened? Who are they? What did they know? What role did they play? People are always talking about the left eating itself, but I want to know, what's happening with the right? So for the last day, the Democrats and the leftists have been online making jokes talking about, so are the white people going to fight back against other white people? Are the right going to fight the right? Yes. The answer is yes. Months ago, I made a video breaking down how Trump was trying to turn the states into a white Christian national state, but that beyond that, a lot of white Christians would eventually be shocked to find out that they are not the right kind of white, nor the right kind of Christian to be considered part of the in-group.
I just really wish Charlie Kirk's wife would have set this one out for a couple of weeks. Because to get on a podium and speak her little message or whatever and say, I don't know when the last time I slept. Ma'am, your husband died 48 hours ago, okay? You slept 48 hours ago, okay? And I can't imagine as a wife what she is feeling. But I just hate that. I feel like the government, the society, the people that followed him, they're using her now to fuel a fire, right? And I feel like she and her kids and their family are ultimately the ones that are going to really be mourning his loss. He was a part of their everyday life. They didn't just see him when he uploaded a video or when he went somewhere and made a statement. She is affected. Her everyday life is affected. So I feel like I just wish that when they encouraged her to speak, somebody would have told her, baby, just sit this, let things play out the way they're going to play out. Don't get up here and speak, because she's speaking, she's in a part of grief, right? Now she's in that part of anger. And rightfully fucking so. Her husband was unalived on a national platform, right? But I just hate that they're using her. I hate that they're using her to fuel a fire that has nothing to do with the larger population of people, especially those who did not believe in his rhetoric.
They should all know this. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country.
If something were to happen to my husband, this is how you're going to see me for the next 2 weeks. Don't expect a full glam, makeup, hair, matching outfits. And I get it. We all grieve differently. I get that. But to be in front of the camera with a full glam face, barely 48 hours after your husband passed, wow. I guess some people do grieve differently. Now, I don't know much about marketing, but I have a marketing radar. And I can tell when someone's trying to sell me something. And after watching that video, I felt the persuasion. I didn't feel like it was a widow that was sharing her pain. She prepared for that video. Her hair is immaculate. Her makeup, her outfit, the entire setting. If something ever happens to my husband, you will not see me on social media for quite some time. And if I happen to run into you, this is how you're going to see me. Because I will not have the energy to put on a full glam. I'll be lucky if I'm wearing matching socks.
This one is probably going to be a little bit divisive, but I've seen the video of Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife, and her quite bizarre kind of setup for a statement about the loss of her husband. Now, as somebody who's kind of recently lost a very close family member under quite kind of tragic and traumatic circumstances, I can understand how grief is very different for everyone. But what I can't get my head around is that this woman lost her husband a matter of days ago, has 2 young children with him, yet is able to deliver a kind of faultless statement, pre-written statement, obviously, with a smile on her face for a lot of it. It looks like crying, but there are no tears. And the weird thing is that it's in a really staged setup with a photo of Donald Trump as the Times Magazine Man of the Year or whatever it was, and 2 MAGA hats. And also, why is she completely in white? Like, again, I know it's grief and people grieve differently. It's so weird to have this, what looks like, it looks like a marketing piece, is the long and short of it. Like, it feels very cold and very sterile and just very, very bizarre for somebody who lost her husband so tragically. Why is one of the first things that she's doing going out and making this statement thanking the likes of J.D. Vance and Donald Trump? There's so much already that rings weird about this whole situation, and it doesn't add up. And this really adds to it. Am I the only person that's seeing that and is being a bit like, this is odd?
Erica Kirk is now going off. So this week has definitely been crazy with everything that's happened in the news. We all have heard about the Charlie Kirk thing. So Erica is no longer just this grieving widow. She has said that because of what has happened to her husband, that he laid down his life. And because of this, that people don't know what they've truly done. They've unleashed something. Her exact words were, they have no idea what they've done. If they believe Charlie's message was powerful, they haven't seen anything yet. What is that supposed to mean? See, before, Erica was a stay-at-home mom. She homeschooled the 2 young children. That's what she did. She was more based on traditional type values. Does that mean that now she's going to become front and center and become the become the spokesperson? Regardless, I guess we'll find out sooner than later. This is Lady Queen Black with News. Let me know what you think down in the comments below.
Unhinged. Unhinged. Did you see this? This is absolutely unhinged. Erica Kirk posted a video of her kissing his dead hands in his open casket. Unhinged. When my brother died after a motorcycle accident when he was 20, and we had to go to the funeral home to look at his body and his makeup because we had open casket. It was my mom, my grandma, and I, after I passed out. You know what I wasn't thinking about? I wasn't thinking about taking pictures. I definitely wasn't thinking about posting pictures. I was grieving. I didn't even know what was going on. And I am almost convinced that this is all part of a plan, because he wanted to go down as a martyr, and they are trying to incite a civil war. How many parents have shared online pictures of their kids' little dead bodies after they were gunned down in a school? We should release the video, because I'm sure there's video footage in Minnesota of the assassination and attempted assassination of the lawmakers there, because obviously people saw what happened in Utah. And so I understand that there's going to be a reaction after so many people saw it happen. But maybe that's why there's not a reaction for the lawmakers in Minnesota, because they didn't see it. But I'm sure it was identical to what we watched in Utah. This is unhinged. Absolutely and utterly unhinged. It is disgusting. And, you know, she posted that fiery comment and that really the press conference, I don't know what it was, basically a call to action that if you loved Charlie and you are a young person, do what Charlie would want you to do. And then she posts this. It's dangerous. It is dangerous. It's shameful. It is absolutely shameful.
I just had a really long day of travel, so I'm just getting caught up, but I did see the Erica Kirk video and we need to talk about it. For some reference before we dive in, I have a master's degree in communications and I work as a marketing manager, which means it is my job all day, every day to write copy, to create content, to edit videos, to do social media posts and write things for websites that get you to engage, whether that is to buy a product, to buy a service, to get you to volunteer for something. That is what I do all day, every day. I look at target audiences and then I get people to do things that are calls to action. And let me be clear, we're not even going to play the video. We don't even need to play the video because I am not talking about what Erica says at all. I'm talking about what is said by your visual cues in this video. Here is a still image of the video, and if you want, I encourage you to pause it and look around. What do you see other than her, which is also important? The thing that immediately caught my eye was that. And at first I was like, is that what I think it is? And it certainly was. What an odd thing to have turned out on a bookshelf to perfectly face the camera. And if you still don't know what that is, let me show you. That's exactly what that is. It is the Time magazine cover that features Donald Trump as Person of the Year, and that is a very odd thing to have staring down the camera. This subliminal messaging is echoed again in the foreground. You see one MAGA hat, two MAGA hats. That one's a little bit cut off, but that's certainly what it is. Now, given the events of this week, it makes sense that Charlie's picture is here, and it makes sense that there is some text there, but there are two things that do not make sense. What doesn't make sense for a mourning wife is to have the Turning Point USA logo at the very top. This is a branded statement. What also doesn't make sense is a podium in the middle of an office. Podiums, or lecterns as they're sometimes called, are used when you want to put someone in a position of authority. Think about a speaker at a conference. Think about even a pulpit in church. It's also a place where we know that messages are typically delivered that are either unifying or inspirational. Last but not least, look at just how much white is involved. You have the white bookshelf, the white wall. She is dressed in white. We are trying to make her, from a marketing perspective, look innocent and angelic and pure and all of those things that are associated with the color white. Yes, she does have a black shirt on, but this is not the typical look of someone who is in mourning. Typically, we see people wearing black. And let's not forget the empty chair with the microphone, which is very clearly meant to acknowledge Charlie's absence. But it's done so subliminally. And then she's standing there presiding over that empty chair from a podium. Now that you've seen all of that, my challenge to you is to write in the comments, what do you think all of this is? And what do you think all of this means? Because what I saw in that video today was not necessarily just a woman who is mourning her husband's death. I have a lot to say about that, but I just want to point out.
So guys, before we continue watching, I want to read you some of the crazy comment that majority of you guys, you have come out on the comment section and say. So this one is saying that if a black person would have said the exact words she's speaking, they would be accused and possibly arrested for inciting unrest and anarchy. Riot. So you can see if a black person would have used the same exact words that Charlie Kirk wife, she has come out and say the black person will be arrested, and also the government will say that the black person, he wants to bring, he wants to incite unrest, so he wants people to come out and protest. But right now you can see the person who is speaking this is a white person, and you know how. And we all know how Charlie Kirk he was. So I don't want to say that. So this is to tell you that he thinks the system, it is much favoring the white folks but not the black folks. So kindly guys, let us continue watching, then I'll be back with more comment.
There's a creator called Total Hypocrisy. I'm going to tag her below. I loved her take on the entire thing. I'm not going to go into detail. She does break down the optics of this. She's in marketing and all of that stuff. So she does break down like the entire optics of this. There's 47, Donald Trump in the background, all of that, right? Charlie Kirk, the turning point sign. She breaks down like the entirety of what this is trying to give off. What I will touch on only one thing she said, and that is the optics of this in terms of the wife looking like angelic and the room being white and pristine and her even wearing a white suit with her blonde hair down, and talking about the fact that it's supposed to give out like some sort of like goodness or angelicness or like, you know, sweet wife, whatever to that degree. Again, go watch her video. To me, a person of color, a black woman, this actually is very creepy. This lack of color, this lack of, for me, it's a lack of a human being present, right? It's very much giving uncanny vibes. And right, she's a widow. She lost her husband. This is not me taking down Charlie Kirk or talking about celebrating his death. I'm not celebrating his death. I'm not mourning it either, Pookie. Like, please move on. But the optics of this as a black woman, it's very much giving the mistress of the house, the master's wife. Like, this makes me unsettled, right? Like, this is giving what's her name? Something Joy from The Handmaid's Tale. Serena Joy from Handmaid's Tale. It creeps me out. And I think there's a level of cultural difference when we're viewing optics. It's like, because white America has the foothold and their boot on everybody's necks, they have created a realm in which they do things like this. And what it's supposed to signal to all of us is, you know, a very sweet, safe, white, you know, angelic, right? Because, you know, angels, whiteness, like they're tied together. But to any black person who's ever watched a scary movie, this looks like the beginning of one. This looks like in the movie when they tried to pan to when everything went to shit. This, right? Like I'm unnerved. It's giving Stepford wife. It's giving the lack of something. And I don't know, like, I don't want to say like the lack of a soul, the lack of a human. I can't pinpoint it because it's probably different for everybody viewing this and seeing this and watching this. And I don't want to speak on behalf of everybody. Also, I'm not trying to take down this woman. She just lost her husband. Whoop-de-doo. But what I'm saying is that the optics of this scenario, with the Trump in the background and the white hat and the gold, whatever, the symbolism that it's supposed to give to me, personally, as a black woman, it creeps me out. This does not look like a grieving wife. This looks like our new prime minister. Okay, this looks like the queen taking over for the king. You get what I'm saying. And this is what I'm saying, like when it comes to culture, we're watching like scary movies or horror movies and people are like, I did not see that coming. I assure you, as a black woman, I saw it coming. There is something about somebody who tries to portray a level of like, I'm pristine, I'm put together, I'm like, there's something about that person being like that 24/7. I'm talking from a movie aspect or from a TV show that's like, ooh, she's not the killer. Even if she's not the killer, she helped the killer. Something going on with her, right? This is what this gives. By no means do I look at this and go, oh, she's a good woman. I look at this and go, is she a part of B613? Like, I am concerned. I am worried, right? Like, she looks all too happy to be taking over. Again, I am not saying she's happy her husband got shot and was killed and lost the father of her children. That is not what my take is about. So if you're going to enter my comments saying that, leave. My take is that if you've ever watched a show or a scary movie, you know there's a point in the movie where there is a speech given of some kind and the person is set up like this and you're like, oh, this is about to either be the murderer or the person who takes over the country. That is what this is giving. Under no circumstances do I go, oh, poor thing. And again, I'm black. I have my issues with the rhetoric with Charlie Kirk. This is not what this video is about. My point is, optically, I am terrified. I am worried. I'm afraid. I'm uncomfortable. Like, those are all the emotions, not me specifically. I'm just uncomfortable. For me, it's giving Uncanny Valley. It's giving Serena Joy. Like, it's not giving anything besides this cannot be good here, right? And I think, like I said, culturally, maybe white people will see this and go, oh my God, she looks like such a sweet woman. Poor thing. And for me, it goes, I'm taking over his shit. in like a B613 kind of way. And maybe scandal is on the brain too much and I'm doing too much of a scandal brain drop here, but tell me what you think of this image, because she did put out a speech and like there's a podium in his office. The entire thing is white. And I'll add this last part because I had a video on this before. There is something very strange about having a house, any portion of your house, completely and utterly devoid of color. And I'm not just talking about the little drops and hints of color. But to go out of your way to have a white or a beige house to be devoid of color gives a level of soullessness I simply cannot describe or articulate appropriately right now. But pontificate on this image here. What vibes are you getting? And again, watch Total Hypocrisy's video because I loved her breakdown and she discusses it in her
So Erica Kirk just gave a speech about her late husband, Charlie Kirk. But let's be clear, this is not a grieving widow. This is the most dangerous kind of woman, the male-centered woman. She stood up there and she called Charlie the perfect husband, the perfect father, and she promised that his voice, his movement, his mission will live on through her. But what was his mission? Right, inciting hate against minorities, against immigrants, against black people, against queer people, against women, us. She is not just mourning, she is sanctifying a man who spent his entire career demonizing the very communities that he put at risk. She is taking his politics of cruelty and she is trying to baptize them in widow's grief so that they appear holy, untouchable, and righteous. And that is the male-centered trap. Women who build their entire identities around a man, no matter how harmful he is, and then become the mouthpiece for his legacy. It's the patriarchy's favorite tool because if she says it, suddenly it looks more soft, more emotional, more justified. But don't get it twisted, because Erica Kirk's battle cry of a widow is not about love or healing. It's about rallying people to continue her husband's hate. And that's why we have to call it what it is, dangerous.
So Charlie Kirk, the man that just passed away a few days ago, he's already in the ground now? They already done had the funeral. They ain't have to wait on nobody to fly over from Ireland, some damn well to come to see him in the ground. No old ass auntie, uncle had to come from like a nursing home or something. Nobody had to make arrangements to take off of work. Everybody was able to fly down real fast and get him in the ground. That's serious. That's real serious. Then I seen the video of the casket situation. Did he have on gloves? You know what he had? He probably had on gloves because you know you have to have on gloves. That's what it is. But why did they choose orange? Why did they choose orange gloves? Because his hands look real orangey. Because you always have to wear gloves in the casket. And then the speech. The speech was very, very different from what I expected. Like, your husband passed away tragically, suddenly, a few days ago. She's so well, like, she's not sad at all. It was very much given, like, you taking over a dynasty that you've been wanting all along. I'm just saying, like, it was not giving sad to me. So why you yelling at the people on the internet trying to make people lose their jobs, okay? Because she's not sad her damn self.
That video of Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica Kirk, rubbing all over Charlie Kirk's dead body and mourning him was honestly a little bit more disturbing to me than the actual footage of what happened to Charlie Kirk. That video of her rubbing his dead body made me so uncomfortable, and I don't know why. She literally grieves different. Like, why did she post that? I just feel like that was way too personal to be like uploading to Instagram. And then that speech she gave, the fake tears, the voice. She's trying to keep Turning Point going. She's trying to keep it going. She's trying to keep the violence going. She talked about how she's basically a scorned widow and you guys don't know what you guys have started. I don't know who you guys is because the shooter was a white male from Utah. So this is like some inner like conservative white on white crime going on. Just in the past 24 hours learned who Nick Fuentes is. Alt-right, white nationalist. Apparently he's like Charlie Kirk but on steroids. Apparently Charlie Kirk was moderate. Like, Nick Fuentes is definitely giving the vibes like he would just go out in his white robe right on national television. And apparently they're saying that's who's gonna be on the rise next.
So guys, I hope you have watched the reactions from both black Americans and white Americans, how they have come out and reacted towards this viral speech from Charlie Kirk's wife. So guys, I want to read some of the comment here that majority of you guys, you have come out and share on the comment section. And also guys, remember you can share your thoughts on the comment section. Tell us what do you feel about this viral speech of Charlie Kirk's wife. So this one is saying that staged, fake, she just as dangerous. Yeah, so this one saying that Charlie Kirk's wife, she's dangerous. So this one saying that these people like war, please don't fall to this. Yeah, so this one is saying that these people like love war, don't fall for this, and that it is true. The people who usually bring war, it is not the black folks. Yeah, it is not the black folks, it is the other people who they always bring a fight. You can see the days of slavery, the world war, these people, they started the world war. So this one is saying that she's correct. We will remember him for his bigotry and racism. So this one is saying that we will remember Charlie Kirk for racism and bigotry. So this one is saying that her message was dangerous, really trying to continue her husband agenda. Yeah, so this one saying that the Charlie Kirk wife, she wants to continue with the husband agenda. So this one is saying that shouldn't she be the Christian? She says she is practice forgiveness like how they tell black people to do. Yeah, so this one saying that racism is a mental illness at this point. Hey, wow, racism, it is a mental illness at this point. So this one is saying that this is child abuse. Girl, go control your husband estate, collect your money and go sit your as down. You are putting your children in harm way. Yeah, so this one, she's advising Charlie Kirk's wife not to go and sit down and not coming out and inciting. Yeah, so this one saying that this look theoretical, but her acting sucks. She is not a grieving widow. She seems like his handler. She is just as sadistic as her husband. Yeah, so this one saying that I have seen and experienced grief. This is not grief. So this one saying that they are not using her. She's aligned with his racist heroic. Yeah, so you can see people, they are still saying that majority of people, they were saying Charlie Kirk is a racist. He was a racist, and that's why we can see how his wife, she's following the footstep of her husband. So this one saying that she's so fake, pretending he was killed by an enemy. He was killed by the very people they inciting hate in. Yeah, so you can see, I've already tell you that if it was a black person who did the shooting, who unalive Charlie Kirk, things will not be the same in America for the black folks. But it turns out that it was a white person. So these people, they reduce because they came out and see, they realize that it is their fellow person who did that. So they came out and reduced the pressure. But before that, these people were having the pressure. They really wanted to see who has unalive Charlie Kirk. So this one is saying that let's stop talking about this guy now. We are giving him too much importance. Yeah, so this one saying that we should now stop talking about Charlie Kirk. So this one saying that she's fake like him. She's making threat. So this one saying that all of this situation is beginning to look suspicious. Yeah, so with all this, with all how things it is going, this looks like suspicious. And I've told you that this was like a government inside job, because majority of people that have been asking for Epstein file, and government didn't want to produce Epstein file. So the government, they're trying to confuse people not to ask for Epstein file, and that's why we can see right now Charlie Kirk, he's no more. So I don't want to go deeper, and you guys, you might now connect the dots. So this was saying that I'm still figuring out who the evil does are only one person took his life, math and mathing. Yeah. So this one saying that Charlie Kirk's blood is on Donald Trump hands, not our Trump is the one who created this chaos in the United States, not us. So she need to think twice before saying they get your priorities straight before blaming everyone for your husband murder, because the guy that killed him family was Trump supporters, not us. So blame Trump for his murder, not us. Yeah, so you can see the person who alive, Charlie Kirk, her family, his family, so he was supporting Donald Trump. So this one saying that the Charlie Kirk wife, she need to blame Donald Trump and the Donald Trump supporters, but not all Americans. Yeah. So this one is saying that that was inside job, way too perfect. He also thought Epstein file should be made public. Wonder if that has prompted this unfortunate event. Yeah, so I've already tell you that it was like an inside job because of the Epstein file. So this one saying that Charlie wasn't assassinated; he was just plain oil killed. Yeah. So this one is saying that dude will be forgotten in 2 months. Yeah. So this one saying that right now we know Charlie Kirk still is trending, but coming some 2 months he will be forgotten forever. So this one saying that you have no idea, the Almighty God said vengeance belong to him, not you. So the Almighty God is in control. Yeah, so for what it is happening, God knows. So this was saying that we don't care. This was saying that she's talking about her MAGA folk who killed her husband. These people are crazy. So this was saying that, girl, please join pocket are fat now. So this was saying that she's not grieving, she is threatening. Is she talking to Tyler, mommy and daddy? Yeah, so this one saying that this wicked infants always talking about God. Yeah, so this one is saying that I am so damn tired of MAGA and these white nationalities who use their religious value to not only proclaim their own self-righteousness, but to excuse their racist, xenophobic, homophobic bigotry as well, pretending to be on some spiritual mission on God, as if real Christian who actually have read the Bible and try their best to live it can't see right through their BS. Everything that Charlie Kirk believe in went blatantly against the teaching of the God they claim to follow. Jesus wouldn't preach hatred for any of God's children because we're all equal. In the eye of the Lord. Charlie Kirk legacy will be one of the cautionary tale, a warning of what happened when you go out of your way to hurt marginalized communities, when you used violent political rhetoric, and those whose difference disgust him. Yeah, so you can see this one, he has really come out and write a very long message, and you guys, I hope you have read the message. So let me just read some other two comment. Majority of you guys, you have really come out and share. So this one is saying that in the world shall be carry the torch for okay. I'm so tired of this nonsense. Yeah, so this one saying that free at last, free at last. I thank God, free at last. That what she is really saying. She doesn't have an abusive husband anymore. Yeah, so this was saying that right now Charlie Kirk, her wife, she doesn't have an abusing husband anymore. So kindly guys, I hope you have watched till this end, and also you can share your thoughts on the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye guys.